What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Theen Off-Road. Today's video, we're going to be trying to fix this Honda Foreman 400. Let's get right into it. Okay, so first things first, this thing, there's several things already taken off of it, as you can kind of see here, but basically, when I got the four-wheeler, my buddy dropped it off and wanted to see if I could fix it for him. It's his father-in-law's or somebody's, but essentially he gave it to me with the fuel tank and several parts off of the actual four-wheeler already. And I'm going to bring you guys around and show you what I've done and some of the crazy things on this four-wheeler. So one of the first things that obviously I had to do with this four-wheeler was clean it. It was super muddy, dirty. I pressure washed the entire thing. I hate messing with dirty, vehicles, dirty four-wheelers, whatever it is. I have to get them clean because I don't want mud and crap everywhere. Second, the battery was dead. I've had it on a charger all night, so it's been charging for a while. I don't think this battery's holding a charge, but at least it will turn over now. The problem that the said was it was getting no spark. He messed with the carb. I have a very high suspicion of what it is, but I mean, look, some of these things are kind of funny. I mean, he's got a switch up here for the radiator fan. I guess the fan stopped working, so he wired a switch up to it so it will turn on and off, which is kind of funny. But there is no spark, or was no spark at all. So my first thought was probably the CDI box, because my neighbor across the street has almost the same exact four-wheeler. I think it's just a different color, and his problem was the CDI box. But I did notice everything was good. The fuses are good. I haven't checked the actual wiring for any of these switches up here, but I took the spark plug out and we're getting no spark whatsoever. But one of the things I've read is these rectifiers, which I've already pulled it off. And if you can see, it's cracked right here. And I ran some tests with an ohm meter, and I wasn't really getting anything through this thing. So I assumed this was bad. And I actually went and robbed the same part off of my neighbor's four-wheeler and plugged it in just to see if I could get a spark, and it started sparking right away. Which I don't know if it's going to run off of that or if there are other issues, but I have ordered a new rectifier. So I did buy a new rectifier or regulator. I can't remember exactly what those are called, but it does have a spark now. So I'm going to leave this battery charging for a while. I won't get the part in for probably 2 or 3 days, and I'll leave a link down below where I got that part. I actually grabbed it off Amazon, and it was pretty cheap for the part, what it was. So hopefully once I get that part in, it should fire right up, theoretically. If not, I'm going to have to go through and check everything else. But until then, we should be, I mean, this is the actual four-wheeler. It's not a bad-looking four-wheeler. It's 24 years old. There are some plastics that are cracked up here, like you can see. But it's really not that bad of a four-wheeler. So hopefully it runs after we get this regulator, but I will let you guys know. It's gonna be 2 days, so we'll see when it gets here. It's just a plug and play thing, and I'll know more then. So I'll bring you guys back when that comes in. Okay, so the part should be here. It's now been 2 days. It actually says it's like 8 stops away from Amazon. So I'm going to attempt to try to put this fuel tank back on, because I know that it's going to spark with the new one, or at least I hope it does. I probably shouldn't put the fuel tank back on because I'm just assuming it's going to work with the new part, but I want to go ahead and get that next step done, which is putting this fuel tank on. At least set it up here and connect it. That way it actually is getting fuel. So when we do try to start it, it should fire up. So I'm going to go ahead and get this fuel tank on. So it looks like this fuel line, now I don't know which way is on or off, so hopefully this thing will start pouring out fuel. It looks like this fuel line runs underneath here. So I may have to angle this because it's a really hard fuel line. Old. And it connects down here to the actual carb through this. And there's a little, let me see if I can. So there's actually two bolts up here that slide onto like where the right underneath the handlebars. If you can see one right, it's hard to see. Anyway, there's two up there. It slides in, and there are these fuel tank straps here, which are gonna keep the tank on right here. But the fuel line runs through this plastic piece here, underneath this intake hose or vent hose. I'm assuming it's the intake for this air box, yeah. And then it runs to right down here to the carb. So I'm not sure. I guess I could look on the plastic which way's on, off, reserve, all that. So I'm gonna check that out and make sure it's on. But I will, there's a little clamp that I have to clamp down there to get it to connect to the actual carb. So I'm gonna clamp that real fast. Okay, that's on. So now let's see this plastic. This plastic up is on. I'm assuming this just means this is fuel. So on, off, and reserve. So technically it should be on because this little arrow is pointing up. Unless there's some kind of vapor lock because of something. There's definitely fuel in there. It's low. Maybe that's what it is. Let me turn it to reserve. I'm not sure, but I do know that this piece is kind of a pain. It slides underneath this tank, so let me get this back underneath there. Or should I even? I'll just slide it underneath there. It slides under like this, and this vent line from the carb comes up through it and goes back down it. Like that. Now this is the vent line for up there. Like I said, the strap for this tank is right here. I don't even know if the bolts, they gave me a bag of bolts and stuff. Hopefully, it looks like 2 or 3. Yeah, these two. These bolts that look like this. I remember them from my Honda 400 EX. They look just like this. They go up through the tank right there. That helps hold the tank on. And it does have another tank strap in here. Right there. So I'm going to attach this tank strap. Attach that. So the tank is now semi-connected. And I did charge the battery for several days, and it was not charging very well. I was using this small trickle charger and this actual pretty decent sized battery charger, and the battery just kept getting like molten hot, and it was kind of keeping it charged. It will turn on. Oh, maybe it won't. Damn, maybe the battery's fried. It was turning on. Now it is not. The battery is still super hot. I took the charger off probably 4 hours ago. So I guess it has no charge at all. I'm not sure. I'm gonna get my little altmeter thing here. Ohm meter, digital the multimeter. And get this thing on and see. It's just a free Harbor Freight one. I've used it forever. That's got 2 volts. That's crazy. So in 4 hours, it went from having some to none. But this bigger charger that my neighbor let me borrow, it goes up to 12 volts, 6 amps. So I'm gonna run it at 6 amps because that, like I said, that part should be here pretty soon. And maybe it'll actually start throwing a charge to this thing, hopefully. We're at 7. 7.8. I wonder what it goes to when I take that off. Let's straight to 4. Am I on? Oh no, I'm on 2 amp right now. That's why. You know, I have a feeling too. I knew this battery was probably messed up, but maybe some of this, like whatever this wiring for this fan, maybe he messed something up. I'm not sure. Let's kick it up to 6 amps and see. We're at 9 volts. I think this battery's just shot, guys. I don't think it's gonna ever make it. And sorry that I'm shirtless. It is very hot out here right now. I think it's supposed to hit like 98 today. So hopefully this guy brings this. Maybe it's because this thing isn't plugged in. Maybe that has an issue. I assume it might. So maybe I'm doing this for no reason. Maybe I'll shut this off until I get that part in. The regulator, whatever it's called. I'm sure I've said it already. I can't remember right now. Rectifier regulator. Maybe that's why it's doing this. It probably is. Probably has a lot to do with it. So actually, I'm just going to let it not charge. I'll jump it to 6 volts, 12 amps as soon as I get that part in, and I will let you guys know. But at least the tank is back on. And hopefully the plastics are easy to put on. I have no idea where or what the fuck this is. Because again, I didn't take any of this apart. I'm assuming it's somehow supposed to, I don't know, who knows. All right, I'll bring you guys back. All right, it came in. So literally took 15 minutes or so. Here it is. I'm not sure the brand. I mean, you can see right there, whatever that says. Sure, it's Chinese. I did not get OEM just because the guy didn't want to spend that much money. So this was $16. I'm not sure. Hopefully the bolt holes, they do line up. So hopefully it fits. Plug looks the same. We're going to go ahead and get it on. I think that's just that's probably the factory one from literally when this thing was new. It's probably never been changed. See if I can get in here to show you guys where it's at. It's underneath this back right tire. There's the plug right there. So we're gonna plug this bad boy in. And I'm gonna try to get it in there. Now I did read some things saying that these bolts, the original bolts may not fit because it's a little bit thicker, which it looks like that may be the case. They may not fit. You probably only see my arm right now, so sorry. Yeah, I think they're right. I don't think it's gonna get a good enough grab on this. Maybe. No. So I may have to try to find some longer bolts, but we can test this thing out and see if it works. Okay, I found one bolt that kind of fit in there so that it at least somewhat stays up there. Let's see if this thing will turn over now. I think I'm gonna have to jump it. Okay, so I tried to jump it with my foiler, brought it up here, it just clicked still, was barely getting any voltage. I unhooked this fan, this rigged up fan thing that, you know, whatever he's done here, and the voltage is actually spiking up and actually charging now. So I don't know if he's wired something wrong or what the deal is, but that was drawing a lot of power. So I'm assuming that's maybe why this battery is messed up, because it looks like a pretty decent battery. It doesn't look that old either, considering this foiler is 24 years old. So I'm going to let it charge again for like another 10 minutes, and hopefully it will charge up enough to crank over, at least to try to get this thing to see if it'll start and fire. We'll see though. I'll bring you guys back then. Okay, so I've now hooked up some nicer jumper cables, some thick ones, to my wife's car because that battery is shot. I have it pulled out. I just have it connected to these leads. We're going to try. Well, that's a good sign. I mean, first trying, it's already starting to try to start and fire. I don't know how old this gas is. I don't know if the carb needs to be cleaned, but at least this thing actually looks like it's going to try to start to run. Oh, well, that probably is an issue. A wasp nest just shot out of the exhaust. So that might be one of the problems, but it's running. I got it running. Maybe. It's idling. At least it's idling. Who knows the last time this thing has actually started, so I'm gonna let it kind of warm up here for a minute. Really sucks that battery's bad. That's a nice battery. It's only 3 years old. Not sure if that's choke on or off. I'm assuming that's choke on. Not one to get very, does not want to take any throttle at all. Not getting enough air. So I'm not sure if it's flooding, if this exhaust is still clogged up. It very well might be, considering there was this massive wasp nest. Oh, I have you on wide. Wasp nest in there, and it looks like there's still more. So maybe that's why. I may just try to let it idle here for a minute. Could be almost out of gas. I mean, I think it almost is. Who knows how old the gas is in it? There's no telling. I don't know if I have the choke the right way. I'm assuming I do. That sounds like the choke is off now. The other way sounds like it's on. I'd say it cleared out whatever was in there. Seems like it's doing okay now. Let's make sure it's not a fluke. Floor's off. I'm gonna put the airbox lid back on. Turn the key, make sure the key's on. That's not a fluke. Now we need to either ask if he wants me me to buy him a new battery or leave the old battery on and he can buy one. And I need to take this thing for a ride and see if it actually runs, but I can't without the battery. I believe if you take this off, it will shut off. Or I guess not. All right, I'm gonna try to drive it for a second. I'll bring you guys back in a minute. All right, just took it for a ride. Ride's great, shift's great. Just had no issues. I'm assuming whatever the issue was just in the beginning is because this thing literally hasn't been started in over a year or more. So it's running good. I need to hook that fan back up, but obviously it needs a new battery. It doesn't have one in it, and this battery is just not holding a charge. I mean, it's not even charging above 8 or 11 volts. It just keeps fluctuating crazy like this. So I'm not even gonna keep this charger on here. Look at the voltage just drop. This battery's shot. Just gonna tell him he needs a new battery. If he wants me to buy one, I'll buy one for him, hook it all up, put all the plastics back on, fix the tank back together, and this thing should be good to go. All right, guys, it's the next day. So I've actually ordered a battery for him. It should be here tomorrow, and maybe 2 days, actually. I'm not sure when I recorded the last video. I did put this front thing on. I haven't actually screwed it all the way on. It literally just sits on here. You have to take this gas can lid, the fuel tank cap off, and then it just kind of sits on this, which is pretty self-explanatory and easy. And then it's just a couple little nuts. I think 2 on this side, 2 on that side, and then just a plastic push tabs like, you know, like these that are on everything. So once I get this battery going tomorrow, as long as it comes tomorrow, I should be getting this thing out of here, but we will see when it comes. I'll bring you guys back for that. But just wanted to update you because I did put this front panel on, and I attached the tank with the 2 screws that I showed in one of the previous little clips. So that's where we're at right now. I'll bring you guys back tomorrow. Okay, we got the battery in. It's actually pretty late in the evening. It's like 7 or 8 o'clock, maybe 7:30, I can't remember. But I do have this battery. This is the battery I got for this thing. It's a cheaper one, but I will have a link for it in the description. It got here in 2 days. Let's see if it works for this four-wheeler. I imagine it's going to, no problem. Okay, so you can see this battery actually came with these little clips. Not clips, the little nuts that go inside these bolts. Can't talk. These little nuts that go inside the battery terminals, and they're kind of tapered, if you can see that. I'm not sure which way they're supposed to go. I'm assuming you put them in like that. I'm guessing. I don't know. Never used these before. This particular one, and it's kind of nice actually. They make it so it forces it up. Because I don't know if you guys know, but most of these freaking batteries, the nut falls down and you can never connect it. And I don't know, it just always, to me, seems like a pain. So let's see if it actually is. Negative, negative, negative. Where's the negative? It's hiding underneath here. And it did come with the bolts. And I probably will hook this fan back up because that's how it was, and I'm gonna try to get it back to how the guy had it. Maybe. Might do it afterward. Okay, there we go. Now that one's connected. Do this one. Should it be this way, maybe? Okay, that one's connected. Need a screwdriver. Okay, let's put this fan underneath here. Do I think this should stay hooked up? Whoa, probably not, but it's not my four-wheeler. Could this have killed the battery? Probably. Who knows? I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm just gonna stick it underneath here, and it's not gonna be my issue. I'm just trying to get this thing started. Make sure it's running good. Okay, that can go on that like that. Now, let's just see if this thing has enough juice to do it. Perfect. Started right up. Had no issues. So next, the last final piece here. I think these are a 10. And this is for the battery cover. I don't know which way this thing goes, because the guy, like I said previously, had it off. I mean, I guess I could look at that seat. The seat's pretty jank. Yeah, it's gonna be the other way. The seat clips to this thing, so it's gonna be, I guess I should make sure this fan works too. Yeah, fan works. Put this in. Okay, that's stripped out. That one's good. Let's see if this seat clips on. It is a pretty janky seat. Seat's attached. I do think there is a plastic piece missing here, but I didn't have it on there, so I'm not worried about it. Maybe missing on the other side too, but that should be it. Actually, I wonder if it pull starts, because it does have a pull start down here. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Starts right up. Okay. I guess, you know, I was trying to start it up the other day. I guess I literally could have just used that pull start. I don't know why I didn't think of that. I'm just silly. All right, guys, I will have links for everything down below. I think this is going to be the end of the video. If you like this stuff, if you like me working on this thing, let me know. I would like to try to find something, again, to work on. There's my Sportsman out there. I have a couple more things I need to do to it. Wheel bearings, maybe some bushings. The front diff needs to be changed. The fluid needs to be changed. There's a few things I want to still do to it. But I'd like to find another project quad. If you guys would like, you know, or you do like this kind of stuff, let me know down below. And I'm still searching for one. And there's other things I really want to do to my Tundra that I will be making videos for in the future. So if you don't mind, if you did make it this far, please hit the like button, thumbs up, you know, all that stuff. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Think about becoming a member. It helps me out. I haven't made a cent off of YouTube yet because I don't have enough subscribers. Help me get to 1,000. When you're seeing this, I am at like 828. So I'm getting real close. But I appreciate you guys for watching. Stay tuned for the next one. Bye.